Today I'm making a video about fertilizing my blueberry plants and getting them ready for the start of the season. I live in Zone 7B in North Carolina. Based on what region in the country that you live in, obviously when you want to do this is going to vary. And also maybe the type of variety of blueberry you have. Also, I have the rabbit eye variety, which is native in the southeast and does very well in the southeast. And I typically like to do it in the first couple weeks of March when I start to see some nice budding up. And as you can see, that is starting to happen. He's probably flowering in three to 4 weeks. Probably by April, if not by towards the end of March, third week of March, depending how warm it is. And blueberries love acidic soil, very low pH, like in the 5 region. Realistically, you're probably never going to get your soil that acidic, especially organically, but we can still try to give them the environment that they live in, that they prefer. My soils in my area are naturally slightly acidic, like a 6.5, definitely not in the 5 region. So try to add some stuff to soil every year to help create a better environment for them. Now, what I like to use here is organic soil acidifier. There's the brand. It has a hydrangea on there, and that's because a lot of hydrangeas, not all varieties, but certain varieties of hydrangeas, to get a nice blue flower, you need acidic soil. The more acidic soil, the bluer the flower can get. Not all hydrangeas do that. That's the breakdown of what it is. And of course, the instructions. Of course, you don't need to see this. If you buy the product, you'll be able to hold it in your hand. But for new plants, it recommends 1.25 cups, and for established plants, 2.5 cups around the drip line of the plant. Repeat every 60 days until desired pH. I have used the probe meters. I don't really find it probably that accurate or that sensitive, so it'd be kind of hard to know what your actual soil pH is unless you were to actually, send off like an soil sample, or if you want to do type of kits where you mix the soil with the water, if the capsule gives you a certain color. I can't really do that very well with my soil due to being it's clay and it dyes the soil so badly. It's very hard to do that accurately. So the other product I like to use, since this is not really a fertilizer, this is to help lower the pH of the soil, is Hollytone. Hollytone's been around for a very long time, and I'm not going to pick this up. This has a 27-pound bag. I don't want to spill it. Hollytone, by its name, is for acid-loving plants, but holly bushes, because they like acidic soil, soft plants, azaleas, a whole bunch of other acid-loving plants. It has instructions of how much to apply. I typically have the mindset of less is more, because these plants are going to get fertilizer throughout the season, not directly to give to them, because I do plant flowers around here in the spring, and I've fertilized those several times throughout the year with like organic fertilizer, fish emulsion and stuff, and the blueberry roots have definitely spread all the way out in this bed, and they end up getting some of that. So what makes Hollytone different than, say, other organic fertilizers is the sulfur content. That Hollytone has 5% sulfur. Some other products I have seen range anywhere from like 1.2% to maybe like 2.4, 2.5, versus that's 5%. That's really what's different about Hollytone, is its higher sulfur content. And this is all organic. So basically what I like to do is, let me show you. Let me put this mic down here, as there's no need for noise for spreading fertilizer. So I'm just going to spread my stuff around the drip line of the plant. That's basically all there is to it. Now I used a 1 cup measuring, filled all the way up. That's probably like 1 1/4 cups. You fill it to the top. So I used 2 of those. So it's basically 2.5 cups of the sulfur, and then I used 2.5 cups of Hollytone, which is actually a pretty low amount. If you actually look at the back and see what the recommendations are for, like based on drip line and stuff like that, it's really not a lot at all, and it's not going to be harmful to the plant. You can use way more than that, but blueberries really don't need a ton of fertilizer anyway. I do like to pull my mulch back, as you saw. I like to get it on the soil and then put my mulch back on top of it. This will help get it to the soil quicker than if it, because normally for organic products, if you apply it on top of the mulch, they'll have recommendations of like use double the product than if you were applying it to the soil directly. It also helps keep animals out of it, because organic fertilizer, I mean, if you read what that's made up, it's mostly animal product, bone, feather, manure, mostly from poultry. So dogs can be very interested in it, and covering it up will definitely help them keep out of it a little bit better than if it's just exposed and they may actually lick it. Probably won't be harmful, but it smells, and you don't need to be carrying that to your house, or potentially make them sick, which I've never had an issue with my dogs. So anyway, that's basically all I do. I want to do this once a year at the start of the season. It gets its sulfur, it gets the Hollytone, which actually has additional sulfur added to it as well. So that together is going to help acidify the soil. The Hollytone is a fertilizer. It is a 434 product. Now I want to do this once a year with that as well. And then when I plant my flowers around here, I'll put some organic fertilizer with the flowers when I plant them. And then the flowers get fertilized several times a year with like some like fish emulsion or something like that. I'm sure the blueberry plants benefit from that a little bit. I don't directly put it on them, but the flowers are very close. I'm sure the roots have completely reached out in this bed. But really, that's all there is to it. Super simple. You could do these 4 plants in like 15 minutes. To give you an idea of how much product you need, this is a 6-pound bag. 1 pound equals 2 cups. So that's 12. That'd be 12 cups in this bag. 6 pounds, which I would say is about right, because I've put these. Yeah, basically for 4 plants, you're probably going to use pretty much a whole bag at 2.5 cups per plant. That's 10 cups. But it's not expensive. Probably $10 to $12. Hollytone, the price varies a lot depending on how big of a bag that you buy. But I have some other plants, some azaleas I want to fertilize with it, and I'm also got some extra to fertilize my blackberries, strawberries. All those plants benefit from acidic soil. And I will have links in the description of the video, probably towards like either Home Depot, Lowe's, someplace like that, as I really don't think we should be using Amazon to literally buy everything that we need. You gotta diversify where we shop at a little bit. And I hope this helps somebody. If you have any questions about blueberries or whatever, just feel leave a comment. I try to get back to you. I have had these plants for a handful of years. They produce extremely well. This plant in front of me, I kid you not, will probably see how tall it is. And this has actually been pruned already as well a little bit, mostly on the bottom, letting it grow up. If we don't get to a late freeze, which we actually had last year and lost some of the blossoms, I probably got like 15 pounds per plant out of that. If we have a normal season where I don't have blossom loss due to a abnormally cold event late in April, I could easily see this plant producing 20 pounds, if not 25 pounds of blueberries from a single plant. They are one of the most productive, if not the most productive, easiest to grow plants for food there is. No joke, seriously, they really are. Everyone should have blueberries. Anyway, y'all have a great day.